Do you know what James Bond's first drink order actually was? If you're thinking the Vesper, then think again. It was in fact the fizzy and bittersweet aperitif drink, the Americano. Created by the inventor of Campari himself, this is absolutely one of my favourite pre-dinner drinks to get the appetite whetted. This video has been produced in partnership with our friends at Shaker and Spoon, so make sure that you stay tuned to see how one of their talented bartenders has zhuzhed up this classic. The Americano actually predates the notorious Negroni. It was first served in the 1860s at Cafe Campari in Milan by Gaspare Campari himself, who was experimenting with sort of vehicles for his eponymous bitter. The grandfather of all the Negroni cocktails is actually the Milano Torino, so a really simple mix of Campari from Milan and vermouth from Turin. The Americano is just this, but then lengthened out with soda water, and it apparently got its name because of its popularity with US tourists, because they were kind of used to drinking highballs. It's also why espresso with hot water added is called an Americano in Europe, because it's closer to the filter coffee which is drunk in the States. It does cause some confusion here in Australia because they actually call it a long black. So when my mum ordered an Americano when she was here on holiday from Scotland, she was pretty horrified to be presented with an alcoholic drink rather than a coffee at 11 o'clock in the morning. But don't worry, of course I stepped up and took one for the team. Campari is obviously your original here, although you can make a pretty delicious Australian version using something like Okar or 78 degrees bitters, and then with an Aussie vermouth. I do have an episode coming out dedicated to substituting in local ingredients, so if you are an Aussie drinks enthusiast, then make sure you've subscribed and hit that notification bell. But we're keeping it classic in this make, so let's also stick with a vermouth from Turin. Punta Mez was apparently what Campari himself used, and that's definitely a bit more bitter, but I actually like the kind of vanilla and cola notes that you get from Cocky. Some people like to go a bit heavier on the alcoholic ingredients here with a 45ml or sort of ounce-and-a-half pour, but because I like to drink these before dinner or in the afternoon on a hot day, I don't like it too boozy. Of course, it depends on the size of your glass as well, because if you are using a bigger one, then you might need to kind of up the booze to make sure that the flavour still really shines through. So we're obviously going to start with Campari, because that's really what it's all about here. I've even got my little Campari glass, which I usually use for water at home, so it's glad to get an outing and something a bit more exciting in it. So just 30ml or an ounce of Campari, and 30ml or an ounce of your vermouth. Then we're just going to add some soda water. I tend to like to do it before the ice, and you just kind of eyeball to about halfway, and that just means that you're a bit more consistent. And as I said, if you're making quite a lot of these, if you're sort of hosting and trying to get them out quite quickly, then you can have everything sort of ready to go and just stick in your ice and your orange wedge, and it's a really good sort of welcome drink, because again, it's not super boozy, just kind of gets like the juices flowing in terms of being that nice kind of bittersweet flavour. Then I'm just going to cut my orange wedge, fill it up with ice. Because we did the soda before the ice, it should be quite nicely incorporated anyway, but you can give it a quick stir. Then we'll just pop in your little orange wedge. So let's have a little taste. It looks so refreshing already and nice and vibrant. Get heaps of obviously that really nice big kind of juicy orange note on the nose, and then as I said, I quite like that slightly sweeter element from the Cocky. You get yeah, a little bit of kind of like a cola or Kinkona sort of vibe, and then just that like big whack of Campari bitterness. The soda really helps to draw that out as well, because obviously you kind of lose that more syrupy flavour that you get from it. I genuinely think, you know, it's just one of those ones. It's been around since the 1860s. It's so simple and so delicious. I don't think I've had another aperitif drink that I like more. So obviously such a simple drink really lends itself to variations, and over at Shaker and Spoon, bartender Greg Mayer has come up with the Capri Crush. So it's a mashup of an Americano and a Negroni, so it uses both gin and soda. Shaker and Spoon is a monthly subscription box, and they base each box around a particular spirit or drink. So this one's all Negroni variations, and it basically takes all of the hassle and mess out of experimenting at home, because they provide the handcrafted ingredients rather than you having to slave over them. So let's see what's in here. I do really like it because I love switching up classic drinks with different flavors, so totally up my alley. So you got your little recipe cards here. Pandan syrup, balsamic vinegar, a couple of little droppers and atomizers and things. Ooh, strawberry syrup. It's like Christmas, but for bartenders. Spiced orange and grapefruit cordial. I think that's going in the one we're about to make. Some little bitters. And last but not least, some coconut oil. All right, so we're gonna go for the Capri Crush on this one. You get a little story alongside it, which is kind of transporting you to Capri in Italy. But for this, you need some gin as well as a Campari, and then a few of your little bottles here, which I'm excited to get into. So your orange bitters and your Peychaud's bitters, which are these super adorable little bottles. Spiced orange and grapefruit, which sounds very delicious. I'm excited already. 1 ounce of your cordial. And 2 dashes of my tiny little orange bitters. Then we're just gonna give that a little shake up. Such a pretty color. We were just discussing the relative merits of different sparkling water. I might do a little taste test at some point. I'm excited for this. It looks so pretty and so refreshing. Then some more ice. And then I like this as a last little touch, you do the Peychaud's bitters on top. It's actually something I'm quite a fan of because rather than doing maybe like a fresh zest or something over there, you still get all those like aromatics without needing to have any fruit or anything around. So they really have thought of everything. It's about 3 dashes of this. There we go, Capri Crush. I love it. I mean, it looks like you should be sitting by a beach in Italy somewhere. So you get the really nice kind of lifted, like little bit of woody spice from the Peychaud's bitters, which is just very drawing you in for sure. Oh yeah, it's really good. That kind of warm, like from the spiced orange cordial, it's got these kind of all like warm sort of baking spices. So to bring back my little original, it's definitely a little bit sweeter, like not, you know, you still get that nice bitter hit from the Campari, but it's just generally like a little bit warmer and a little bit rounder. I think because of that cordial in there, which is really tasty, but still super, super refreshing. And you get that really nice like pithiness from the grapefruit. Maybe I have to say I have a new favorite aperitif drink now. So if you'd also like to sit back and have these kind of delicious cocktail ingredients delivered to your door every month, I mean, maybe not quite as good as getting them delivered to you on a beach in Italy, but close enough. But just follow the link below and use the code BTB with Cara at checkout, or go to shakerandspoon.com/BTB with Cara and you'll get $20 off your first box, which is a pretty good deal to me. So there you have your Americano and then a fun little twist for some inspiration at home. So now you know.